two prime women in the anchor chairs this morning, so we had to.
You're welcome.
We had to tackle this one.
You're welcome. Well, Don Lemon, after making some truly hilarious comments last week about when women are in their prime age and not in their prime age, this was in reference to Nikki Haley's announcement that she is running for president. Don Lemon said, you know, it's a little silly for Nikki Haley to be critiquing Joe Biden because she's not in her prime age. It was just, he went on this tangent, and you can see his like everyone on set just like tensing up and being like, what are you doing, Don?
Yeah, I think we have the soundbite, actually. There's a second element here, guys. Let's go ahead and play it.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, you know, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that, you know, politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime, and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google?
Google or whatever it is.
Just Google it, Emily. This is facts.
I've Googled it, and I can't find anything. I don't know what goes on in Don Lemon's brain.
Is it like consuming too much Andrew Tate content or something? I don't know.
Imagine. It is
hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio too much.
Honestly, though, it is good to know Don Lemon is still capable of making great television, because I could watch that all day. If I had made the mistake of tuning into CNN that morning, I would be like, is the show like this every morning? Like, should I start watching CNN again?
Well, I mean, that show is terrible, except for the underlying drama of how much the three anchors clearly despise each other.
Yes. And
I think the women seem to like each other fine, but like both the women hate him. He definitely hates, especially Caitlin Collins. Yep. Like, there's reports about how they've had off-air, like, you know, he screamed at her and felt like she cut him off. How dare she, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and it's possible that that stuff was leaked to the press by Poppy Harlow and Caitlin Collins to get rid of Don, and so all of this comes on the heels of the drama that doesn't seem to be getting people to tune into the show in higher numbers, like maybe what was happening at Good Morning America, which was like straight out of the morning show. But this is really interesting because now he's not on the air. He was not on Friday. He was suddenly on a vacation.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. And now he's just appears to just be completely suspended. He apologized to CNN staffers on Friday. Even the new head of CNN, Chris Licht, has come out and called the comments unacceptable. My theory on this, Krystal, actually, and this was my first thought when I saw that this had happened, was this is how they get rid of Don Lemon. He is extremely expensive at CNN, but totally in opposition to the new brand identity that Licht is trying to build at CNN, which he wants to get CNN, this is an impossible task, but he wants to get CNN like back to its old school roots, where they're doing all of this kind of neutral, allegedly neutral, international reporting, the hard-hitting stuff. That's what he wants CNN's brand identity to look like. Don Lemon calls himself like a straight news guy. Says he just calls it like he sees it, and is so completely biased. He's also just not very good at his job. I mean, once upon a time, he was capable, I think, of making good TV in a different era.
Yeah.
But now he's just so utterly divorced from the public that you can see him having zero self-awareness. Like, this actually crystallizes it, because he's going on this bizarre, totally like untethered rant. His co-anchors are sending him like physical signs, like, stop, what the hell are you talking about?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's so, like, he should know. If he's not super insulated and living in his own bubble, you would know to stop.
I mean, I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but 50 and 60-year-old women are a pretty key part of the morning show audience.
Yeah.
So clearly what he's doing here, he was reacting to Nikki Haley's announcement. He's trying to do the normal CNN thing of like running cover for Biden. And then he's just like accidentally enrages both his co-hosts and also probably a majority of the CNN morning audience. So that's number one. Number two, he had already been demoted, to your point, Emily, about how he doesn't fit with Chris Licht's vision. So he was moved from primetime, having his own show, into this morning show slot. And he sold this as like, oh, no, this isn't a demotion. This is actually great. This is just what I want. But, you know, this is also someone who clearly doesn't play very well with others. And you can't just, you know, because you co-host with Ryan, you co-hosted with me, and you've co-hosted with Soccer. Like,
all divas.
Total divas. And you can't just put people in the chair together and think that it's just going to be, like, you have to have a rapport.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. The chemistry does not work with everybody. And so they clearly just like slap these 3 people together who now hate each other's guts. And then the other piece that I know from working in cable news is like, it always becomes very clear when the staff and the other anchors at the network hate your guts. And that is what the moment there's a little bit of a weakness and you're a little bit on the rocks, they'll start leaking to the press. They will do everything they can to stick the knife in, because you treated them like crap or you've been arrogant or whatever Don Lemon's sins are there internally at the network. And sure enough, the report this morning is that there are ongoing conversations about his future, meaning he could be actually out of a job because of this whole situation. And this anonymous person talking to the Daily Beast said, quote, he is a constant distraction. Now, CNN denies all of this, but I wouldn't be shocked by it, especially again, like you said, Emily, he costs a lot of money. He's not consistent with Chris Licht's vision. He's already been downgraded from primetime to the morning show. And this morning show is a train wreck. The ratings are lower than before. Like the old morning show did better than this thing is now doing, and a lot of the problems are because of him and his inability to like share the screen with 2 female co-hosts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And Don Lemon, again, it's like he's a problem in the locker room too. He's all of those problems you just laid out, but he also can't just get along with people. So you can see why it's a big problem for CNN. And just again, from 30,000 feet, it is hard to say exactly how destructive Don Lemon is to the legacy media's brand, to corporate media's brand, and how bad he is of a sort of how negative of an effect he has on the quality of media. He is somebody who goes out there day after day and basically lies. And in some cases, I think he's aware of what he's doing, and in other cases, I think he may be too ignorant to even understand what he's spinning, to even understand what he's doing. But the fact that he has a platform, CNN's ratings aren't great. CNN's website, on the other hand, is one of the most popular news websites in the entire world, and the cable content gets repurposed on the website. It's a really important thing to understand about CNN. And the fact that he has a platform like that where he treats the American people, where he treats readers and viewers as idiots, basically, and lies to them again and again and completely misrepresents his position, his viewpoint, misrepresents the news. If Don Lemon is out of the media, it is a win, no matter what. And it's not just a win for Caitlin.
Why or whatever.
Right. It's not just a win for Caitlin and Chris Licht. It is a win for the media, period, because he has a hugely negative influence on the media as a whole.
Caitlin Collins and Bobby Harlow will be dancing in the streets.
I mean, yeah.
So happy.
And like, I don't think the average American really has an opinion on Don Lemon, and that's great. But do you remember the time he was interviewed by like GQ? He was profiled by GQ, and the interviewer ordered, this is my favorite Don Lemon story, the interviewer ordered sorbet, and Don Lemon corrected him and said, it's actually sorbet. So good. But that's Don Lemon in a nutshell.
That's so perfect. The unearned like level of arrogance of just thinking you know better about everything.
Yep. You don't even think it's different. Like you don't even, it's not just that you have a wrong.
Google it. It's a fact.
It up. It's a fact.
Look it up.
Don Lemon thinks it's sorbet.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Soccer and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.